then we got to get it started to get going. Gonna call this meeting to order. Roll call, please.
Councilmember McGrone? Here. Councilmember Smith?
Here.
Councilmember Fitzgerald?
Here.
Councilmember Alvarez?
Here.
Councilmember Clark?
Here.
Councilmember Todd?
Here.
Councilmember Saper?
Here.
All right, next item, Pledge of Allegiance. This evening will be led by Councilmember McGrone. All right, next item is the approval of the agenda. Is there a motion to approve the agenda?
So moved.
Is there a second? All in favor, please say yes.
Yes.
Any opposed, say no. Motion carries. All right, our next item. It's a great honor this evening to welcome Jim Chappell to the meeting. Jim has been doing business in North Kansas City. He'll tell you better than I could. We know Chappell's has been there since '86, but you've had a business here since '72. And so through that time, he's been a great leader, just not in North Kansas City, but in the whole region. And so excited tonight to welcome and honor Jim Chappell with a Jim Chappell Day. And so I'm going to read a proclamation for Jim here real quick. Jim Chappell, a well-known and respected figure in the North Kansas City area, has significantly contributed to the culture and social fabric of North Kansas City as an entrepreneur, civic leader, and founder of Chappell's Restaurant and Sports Museum, a beloved institution celebrating sports and Kansas City history. And whereas Jim's public service includes numerous roles, such as President of the North Kansas City Business Council, Chairman of the Kansas City Planning Commission, Commissioner of the Kansas City Port Authority, and Chairman of the Clay County Board of Election Commissioners, demonstrating his dedication to growth and vitality of North Kansas City and the greater Kansas City region. And whereas Jim's numerous honors, including his induction to the Missouri Sports Hall of Fame, recognition as the Champion of Missouri, and Grand Marshal of the 2003 Snake Saturday Parade, celebrate his legacy and lasting impact on our community. And whereas Jim Chappell's passion for Kansas City and dedication to community service has created a legacy that will benefit North Kansas City for generations. Now, therefore, I, Bryant DeLong, Mayor of North Kansas City, do hereby proclaim Saturday, November 9th, 2024, as Jim Chappell Day in North Kansas City, and encourage all residents to celebrate Jim Chappell's contributions and his unwavering commitment to our community. So thank you, Jim. It's been an honor to get to really know Jim a lot more over the last year and a half or so, and we got to time limit him because he can tell stories for hours.
I say the older you get, you may get an award. And I was looking on the wall over here, and I started out with Dick Shars as the mayor, and your esteemed chief of police, Mr. Freeman, was 2 years old when I started business down here. He's went to high school with my daughter. I retired. When I retired, I asked the mayor if I could speak to the council and the staff, which is just as really important, how much I appreciated the good treatment that I have being a businessman in the city of North Kansas City. I've been here over 50 years, and it's been a very enjoyable time. And at that time, there's a couple of people, Kim, Crystal, and Jesse, going to have to hear the story again. But I thanked everybody for doing it, for what they've done for me, because this is a very unusual town. Most businessmen don't live in the city, and I didn't live in the city, so I don't have a vote. But that could be problematic if you didn't have a city like North Kansas City. Jesse, you were here last time. I'm sorry, Anthony, I forgot about you. And we don't have a vote, but it could be problematic. But this city has treated me wonderful all these 50 years, and I appreciate everything you've done for me. And I appreciate this. This may be Jim Chappell Day here, but I really consider that every day that I've been in North Kansas City has been a day for Jim Chapel, and I want to thank you all.
Thank you. All right, appreciate you coming out and accepting that. And again, thank you for everything you've done for the community over all these years. Appreciate it. Thank you. Next item, number 6, National Wildlife Federation Mayor's Monarch Pledge Certificate. Oh, now we have more. Oh, that's what you were trying to hand me earlier. More things. Are we going to do a photo again? We doing a photo for this one? All right. I should have stayed down there. I guess I should. Okay. Monarchs are important. All right. And then I'll talk about it. We'll do a photo. Oh, I know. That's weird. That's weird.
You can.
Do you, man? I don't get enough steps. I need more steps. All right. I don't know how to hold this one. There. All right. You can tell this wasn't rehearsed here. I'm all over the place. Now I'm trying to get my notes open. No, so yeah, overall, monarch butterflies serve an important role in our ecosystem as great pollinators. And Sarah Shuckles actually brought this to me some time back, and she's taken off with this program and really ran with it. And the city's done a lot of great work in this space, and we're going to continue to do that. And so appreciate Sarah for doing all this work, and stay tuned as we get a little bit more word out on how we've done this. But it's quite an extensive list, and appreciate staff all working on this and getting this done. So thank you. There we go, Monarch Award. Boom. Comments from the public. Anyone from the public wishing to speak this evening, please step up to the podium. Seeing none. We're moving along here. Next item is consent agenda. Is there a motion to approve the consent agenda?
Move to approve.
Second.
All in favor, please say yes.
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 Any opposed, say no. Motion carries. Just like that. Item 16. I'll let you read tonight. I'm running out.
2025 renewal of employee health insurance, bill number 7883, ordinance number
All
9682.
right. Good evening.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. You have before you our benefit renewal, our medical benefit renewal for 2025. It came in at 9.9%. That cost will be spread across the employee contributions and the city contributions. Plan designs are pretty much the same. We did add a Spira Care Network plan to our other 5 plans, trying something a little bit different. Other than that, if you have any in-depth questions, I have Jess Perez here from Lockton to answer those questions for you.
Questions on this item? Oh, there we go. Councilmember Saper.
What is the Spira network option?
Would you like to answer that? I can. So Spira has
Spira.
9 different locations in the Kansas City area. It's a one-stop shop type medical program.
Yeah.
It mirrors our Blue Select Plus plan, so it's a narrow network plan. So they go to the Spira Care. As long as they go to the Spira Care, there is no cost to them.
Okay.
And it encompasses a lot of visits. They don't have physical therapy yet. They're looking at adding that in the future. So it's more of a one-stop shop, it's not an urgent care, but it is that kind of model.
Okay.
Yeah, labs are there. It's a really neat program, and they've built up the locations. We haven't looked at it prior because they only had a couple locations, and our mapping didn't work well for the employees, and now it does. So I'm excited to let employees try it and get some feedback on it.
Good.
Yeah.
Further questions? Okay, Councilmember Fitzgerald.
Just a quick question. I think there were a couple insurance companies mentioned in the memo, but a few of them, I think, declined to propose. I forget the exact wording, but it wasn't financially viable. I was just curious, is there something like specific to the city's plans that's causing that, or is this just a market-wide thing y'all are seeing?
Your premium rates are very competitive in the market, and so they declined to quote because they could not match or exceed the rates that you already had in place with Blue Cross.
Okay. Thank you. That's simple enough then.
Yeah.
All right, further questions? Seeing none.
First reading.
Second, is there a second? Second, all in favor, please say yes.
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 Any opposed, say no. Motion carries.
Here we go. Consideration of an ordinance adopting and approving certain contract documents by and between the City of North Kansas City, Missouri, and Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Kansas City, which include but are not limited to the following: A, addendum to group contract maximum refund account; B, COBRA rate sheet; and C, benefit confirmation, which includes the following plans: Blue Select Plus EPO Spira Care Plan, Blue Select Plus Personal Blue PPO HRA Plan, Blue Select Plus PPO Plan, Preferred Care Blue PPO Plan, Preferred Care Blue Personal Blue PPO Plan, and Preferred Care Blue Blue Saver. Effective January 1st, 2025, regarding medical insurance benefits for the employees of the City of North Kansas City, Missouri. Who wrote that title?
Yeah, Tom likes to do that to you every once in a while.
One more time. I move that bill number 7883 be placed on second and final reading and passes ordinance number 9680.
Second.
Oh, everyone's looking at you. Call the roll, please.
Councilmember McGrone?
Yes.
Councilmember Smith?
Yes.
Councilmember Fitzgerald?
Yes.
Councilmember Alvarez?
Yes.
Councilmember Clark?
Yes.
Councilmember Todd?
Yes.
Councilmember Saper?
Yes.
An ordinance adopting and approving certain contract documents by and between the City of North Kansas City, Missouri, and Blue Cross and Blue Shield of Kansas City, which include but are not limited to the following: A, addendum to group contract maximum refund account; B, COBRA rate sheet; and C, benefit confirmation, which includes the following plans: Blue Select Plus EPO Spira Care Plan, Blue Select Plus Personal Blue PPO HRA Plan, Blue Select Plus PPO Plan, Preferred Care Blue PPO Plan, Preferred Care Blue Personal Blue PPO Plan, and Preferred Care Blue Blue Saver. Effective January 1st, 2025, regarding medical insurance benefits for the employees of the City of North Kansas City, Missouri.
I feel like you left one out. No, I'm kidding. Number 17, approval of solid waste collection contract with GFL Environmental, bill number 7884, ordinance number 9681. And I know we got a couple council member questions on this one. Councilmember Smith, and then we go to Councilmember Clark.
All right. I see you fellas hanging out back there. You may want to come on up to the microphone so we can grill you a little bit. So as the postcards have gone out this week, I believe, to the residents to discuss the switchover process, a few questions have come up. And we can all appreciate that this has kind of been a quick-moving process. There hasn't been a lot of time to gather public feedback, and just want to get some things out on the record so we can clarify.
Sure.
First one, the instructions on the card mention a specific placement of a bin and how the arm of the truck will reach for it. Many places in the city, that wouldn't be feasible. People want to just confirm that their trash will still get picked up if they can't put it within 3 feet of the curb or a parked car is blocking or something along those lines.
Yeah, that comes up in every community, and we always just work around it. And
Okay.
I think we're going to maybe have to run some rear loads through alleys where we can't use the arms, but so, yeah,
Awesome.
we're ready for that.
I think you might have just answered my second question, but
Okay.
I'll follow up. Rear load truck, Northgate Village, which is the neighborhood off of Mackin Park over here, alleys between the houses. Had a resident reach out and say, hey, the truck they're running is so long that if it were to turn, it would go through my yard. But if you have shorter trucks that are rear load,
Right.
Yep.
answers that question. Great.
Yep. Driver supervisor and our facilities director have already driven the route,
Beautiful.
so they were already aware.
Nice. On top of things. Love to hear it. Last one, and this one I think you've been asked already, but I want to clarify bin sizing. So we've got the big bins, which I love because I can put a whole bunch of stuff in it. Some people have very limited garage size, and HOAs require the bin to be inside the garage. Do we have availability for smaller bins at all?
No.
Okay.
And the reason for it is that the automated trucks do not grab them appropriately, and so they either fall before they get lifted, or they fall in the truck, and the drivers are not allowed to go into the truck for safety reasons.
I gotcha. Okay, and that wouldn't be one that could be lifted and dumped, like a recycle type bin? Okay. I've had a resident call and threaten to put her trash on my lawn, which I don't recommend doing if I don't solve this issue. So I'm raising it, and I'm hoping that there's some way we can figure out.
It's asked every time we
Yeah.
roll into a community, and everybody has a fear of it.
Sure.
Because it's change, it's new, it's so much bigger, but the actual base of it is going to be very similar in size to the 35 gallon, 36 gallon. And so the only difference is it V's out as it gets taller.
Right.
And it'll be a little bit taller.
Yeah, but the footprint on the floor is generally about the same.
Yeah, I appreciate that. I've been in a number of these garages where there's literally space for like 2 cars, and maybe you can shimmy around the edge. Like it's built
Well,
tight.
if this becomes a problem, give us your home address and we'll make sure to get that stuff off your lawn.
Thank you. Much appreciated.
Okay.
Councilmember Clark.
Yeah, to that point, I mean, I'm just citing, I guess, Exhibit A, page 2, the Customer Service Matters piece, where it's services for physically challenged residents. I do have a constituent that reached out on behalf of other constituents. If they are physically challenged enough that they cannot drag a larger bin, they've been accommodated with a smaller bin this whole time. What do we have solutions-wise for them?
Every community we service, we do house line collections for people who can't get it down to the curb and back.
Okay, so
They
we
just
just,
set it in front of the garage or on the step or wherever, just roll it out there and then we'll just come up and get it and roll it back.
okay.
And we work with staff and get that list and keep it current.
Okay,
as
that's what I was
best
going to
we
say.
can.
So we'll run the
Okay.
sign-up list.
So
and
it would be a matter of just getting the addresses associated with those? Okay.
Perfect. Further questions? Oh, Councilmember Alvarez.
It may be in here already, but I know it's going to be one day a week. What day of the week has that been determined? Tuesdays? Okay. Okay. All right, that's it.
All right, further questions? Seeing none, is there a motion?
First reading.
Second.
All in favor, please say yes.
Yes.
Any opposed, say no. Motion carries.
Thank you.
Hopefully this title's a little shorter.
Thank you.
An ordinance approving a contract services agreement for solid waste collection and disposal services between the City of North Kansas City, Missouri and Waste Corporation of Missouri, LLC, using in Missouri the name WCA of Missouri, LLC, doing business as GFL Environmental for waste collection, hauling, and disposal services within the city.
I move that Bill number 7884 be placed on second and final reading and passes ordinance number 9681.
Second.
Call the roll, please.
Councilmember McGrone?
Yes.
Councilmember Smith?
Yes.
Councilmember Fitzgerald?
Yes.
Councilmember Alvarez?
Yes.
Councilmember Clark?
Yes.
Councilmember Todd?
Yes.
Councilmember Saper?
Yes.
An ordinance approving a contract services agreement for solid waste collection and disposal services between the City of North Kansas City, Missouri and Waste Corporation of Missouri, LLC, using in Missouri the name WCA of Missouri, LLC, doing business as GFL Environmental for waste collection, hauling, and disposal services within the city.
Number 18.
12-month service contract with KCATA Fixed and Flex Service, Bill number 7886, ordinance number 9683.
All right, who's got this one?
I do.
Here we
Good evening, Mayor and Council. KCATA came and visited you at your last council meeting and kind of presented what the scope of services for 2025 would be. You had directed us to come back with 2 items. One of them was to add up to 10% increase in the contract language, as well as tying any increase to a customer price index. As we were informed, there really isn't a cost index that they were able to tie it to. We do have Bryce here from KCATA, should there be any other questions for this particular contract. But like I said, they did try. It is kind of a regionalism as well as independent cost drivers, which is why there really isn't like a national standard in every single place, so.
Councilmember Smith.
You can come on up, my friend. So first, thank you for taking back the up to 10% language to the Finance Committee, I guess, to the KCATA and to the board. I think that helps with my concern over the tying to an index. It was kind of either or, and we'll see what we look like in a year. The question I have for you is, we're looking at a 12-month contract. I understand that there's going to be a discussion, I think it's April, about zero fare. Is that correct on the timing?
Excuse me. First off, good evening. So I think what you're speaking to is when the contract with the City of Kansas City expires, which is in April, which is why that conversation is going to be being had with the City of Kansas City, because as I mentioned, on our current contract with the City of Kansas City, we are stipulated to be zero fare within the borders of Kansas City. And because the majority of our services inside Kansas City is not feasible for us to parse that out fair-wise.
Correct. Yeah, and that makes total sense. So when that discussion happens, if the decision by Kansas City is to impose a fare of some sort, what will the impact be on us?
So we would most likely go back to amend the contract to similar to how it would have been in like 2019 with a fair allocation.
Okay. Fair allocation, and then some of that goes toward costs with the city, I understand?
Right.
Okay.
Yeah. So basically, calculation based on your ridership of how much fares are being collected inside North Kansas City, and then calculation that I apologies. Everyone's
chair
looking
just
back
hits
behind
hard.
me. I'm
Yeah.
like, do I need to duck? What is going on?
You're good. You're good. Carry on.
And so, yeah, so I'm not sure exactly how it used to work, because again, I came on right at the end of 2019, but some kind of ridership calculation method.
Okay. That's all well and good. As long as there's something that's in the plans for if they go to a fair, then our contract will also reflect that.
Yep.
Sounds good to me.
Further questions? Councilmember Alvarez.
Yeah, pretty much the same question. I would just want to make sure that even though our contract is for a year, if that changes, then we can amend it, and that's a guarantee that we can do that.
Yeah, we can amend contracts. We
Okay.
amended a contract last year, for example. Yeah.
Okay.
Councilmember Smith.
I would like to express on the record my sincere hope that they bring some fares back. We've seen some negative externalities related to zero fare, and it also is tough to run a transit system with no rider support. So for myself, I don't know how many on the council support that as well, but I would really like to see, or even if someone from this group and other cities could have a seat at that discussion, since it does impact everybody else, I would like to at least to ask that.
I will make sure your statement is heard by our board.
Thank you.
Thank you. Further comments? Is there a motion?
First reading.
Second.
All in favor, please say yes.
Yes.
Any opposed, say no. Motion carries.
An ordinance adopting and approving contract for transit service by and between the City of North Kansas City, Missouri and the Kansas City Area Transportation Authority for public transportation services within the City of North Kansas City, Missouri.
I move that Bill number 7886 be placed on second and final reading and pass as ordinance number 9683.
Second.
Call the roll, please.
Councilmember McGrone?
Yes.
Councilmember Smith?
Yes.
Councilmember Fitzgerald? Councilmember Alvarez?
Yes.
Councilmember Clark?
Yes.
Councilmember Todd?
Yes.
Councilmember Saper?
Yes.
An ordinance adopting and approving contract for transit service by and between the City of North Kansas City, Missouri and the Kansas City Area Transportation Authority for public transportation services within the City of North Kansas City, Missouri.
All right. Thank you, Bryce. Have a good night. Number 19.
Demolition and disposal costs for coating material containing asbestos on two metal silos, 1400 Nottaway, resolution number 24-076.
All right. Good evening.
Good evening, Mayor and City Council. This item in front of you is a request for a change order to an approved contract on September the 18th that was approved by City Council to demolish the immediate dangerous part for the formerly known Perina Mill in the amount of $307,794.90. And since then, Industrial Salvage and Wrecking Company has completed a test on the particular coating material that has been known to contain asbestos and has been in touch with Missouri Department of Natural Resources regarding the regulated removal and disposal process. And with a conclusion that extra amount of additional costs will be necessary for proper regulated method for such removal, handling, and disposal as required by Missouri Department of Natural Resources. The amount has been calculated to be $234,022.10, including equipment cost, labor cost, and haul away cost, and the proper disposal area cost. I do have our building official here to dive into detail if you need more details about it. So this comes as a change order to ask for additional cost based on the contract that has been approved back in September. With that, I'm open to any questions.
All right, Councilmember Fitzgerald.
It's not a huge amount of money in the grand scheme of like the city's budget, but it's still about $45,000. I'm trying to understand the timeline of this increase because I have like the memo or whatever from the resolution in September, and it says, additional sum for asbestos, $189,000, and it says ISW is going to do the work under the same provisions and same price as DEN. So like, I'm just not understanding where the increase was.
Absolutely.
Like, 'cause, reading this, it sounds like their contract was 189 the whole time.
So the $189,000, approximately $189,000 for additional asbestos cost was a quote given by DEN Demolition, which was the first contractor who entered into contract with the city. With the pending lab results for asbestos tests, there are several metal silos and catwalks, and the areas we're not quite sure exactly what's the level of the asbestos at that time, which might not require any particular equipment and skill to remove any of that. So that number was provided by DEN Demolition at that time, with the understanding additional change might come down the way. However, that contract was terminated due to the personnel issue by that particular contractor, so the city entered into a new contract agreement with Industrial Salvage and Wrecking Company. And in this particular new contract, there is not a set amount yet for the additional asbestos costs, because different companies use different methodology and techniques and equipment to treat and to handle these items. So this is a new number provided by this new contractor. And to be honest with you, we don't know how did the $189,000 was calculated by the former DEN Demolition contractor at that time.
So the 189 was never actually in the contract then?
That was
So
ever.
I guess we did not have the same price.
We did not have the same price between exactly these two contractors. That's correct.
Councilmember Smith.
Yeah, to echo, that was my exact concern is we saw like a 20% increase in the estimate, and they were looking at the same thing. And I understand they did some testing. They might have found, I'm not sure if they found more, but if you're looking at the same piece, and my understanding is we're approving a contract with the same terms, I guess we didn't have much of another option because DEN Demolition wasn't going to be able to do it. But it is jarring to see that price jump. I don't know if there's any more light to shed on it, but I had thought we were approving one with that 189 as the understood. That can be what's extra.
Right. If I may, I mean, just to clarify, and I know David can take it further than me, but yeah, there is the portion of the contract that ISW is honoring from DEN's quote, the non-asbestos removal portion. They're still honoring that. They couldn't figure out how Dean got to the 189. They tried, but they also did more testing than we believe than Dean. Met with the state and figured all that. That's the increase. But I mean, there is a portion of the contract that they are honoring. I say the portion, the original one with ISW honored the original.
The 307, 794.
Yeah, but it's the asbestos removal portion that has increased.
I mean, nobody likes to spend more money than you planned, but you got to get it done. Do you have anything to add, David?
No, I think it's said the Dean contract was for the base amount, and then in addition, it actually said, well, the estimated amount that, in addition to their base amount, was $189,000. ISW, they have been in touch with the Missouri Department of Natural Resources, the disposal site, and their environmental specialists on how their method is around the railroad tracks to be able to remove this and encapsulate it according to DNR regulations. So this is their method, and this is the cost that they came up independently from Dean's estimate. So,
Councilmember Saper.
Since all of this is so close to active railroad tracks, is the railroad cooperating?
Yes, our contractor, in addition to coordinating everything and following the Department of Natural Resources requirements, along with staff, have been meeting and will meet again with the railroad to obtain their approval, their scheduling, and kind of coordinate their activities with the demolition activities, which I want to say up front is very involved. So this is not an easy project.
Further questions? Oh, Councilmember Alvarez.
I know it's a project's been a long time coming because it's been sitting there forever and ever. But do you have like a date when this is, you're actually going to be able to have it demolished, or is it just?
Pending the conclusion of this change order, ISW and staff is going to meet with the railroad to solidify the timing and what is required. One railroad requires that they actually get a permit from them for flaggers, and so after that, today, we expect to meet with them next week, and then the contractor is ready to mobilize, and after they mobilize, they're ready to start work immediately. So it's hard to say an exact date when you're dealing with the railroad and the Department of Natural Resources.
Just want to say that it's been there a long time, so be glad to see it finally go. That's all.
Other comments?
Move
Seeing
to
none.
approve.
All in favor, please say yes.
Yes.
Any opposed, say no. Motion carries. Item 20. Code amendment for the approval process for short-term conditional use permits, Bill number 7881, ordinance number 9678.
Good evening, everyone. Me again. This item in front of you, actually have discussed from the last meeting. The only changes are we have added a type of short-term conditional use permit for block parties, and also we have added an appeal process to the additional requirements that currently is in the zoning code for short-term conditional use permit process. With that, if you would like to have more details, I can expand it.
Any questions? Seeing.
First reading.
All in favor, please say yes.
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 Any opposed, say no. Motion carries.
An ordinance amending, modifying, and revising the code of the City of North Kansas City, Missouri as follows. 1, amending Chapter 4.16, Operational Rules and Regulations by repealing Section 4.16.095. Number 2, revising Chapter 4.30, Eating and Alcohol Consumption on Sidewalks, Public Streets, and City Properties by amending Section 4.30.010. Number 3, revising Chapter 15.44, Signs, Billboards, Awnings, and Street Clocks by amending Section 15.44.290. And 4, revising Chapter 17.12, Zoning District and Use Standards by amending Section 17.12.030 and 17.12.040.
All right.
I move that bill number 7881 be placed on second and final reading and pass as ordinance number 9678.
Second.
Call the roll, please.
Did you second?
Second. Councilmember Smith.
Councilmember McGrone?
Yes.
I think.
Councilmember Smith?
Yep.
Councilmember Fitzgerald?
Yes.
Councilmember Alvarez?
Yes.
Councilmember Clark?
Yes.
Councilmember Todd?
Yes.
Councilmember Saper?
Yes.
An ordinance amending, modifying, and revising the code of the City of North Kansas City, Missouri as follows. 1, amending Chapter 4.16 Operational Rules and Regulations by repealing Section 4.16.095. 2, revising Chapter 4.30 Eating and Alcohol Consumption on Sidewalks, Public Streets, and City Properties by amending Section 4.30.010. 3, revising Chapter 15.44 Signs, Billboards, Awnings, and Street Clocks by amending Section 15.44.290. And 4, revising Chapter 17.12 Zoning District and Use Standards by amending Sections 17.12.030 and 17.12.040.
You good on water? Do we need to go? Okay.
I brought a big thing of it.
Okay. There's 21, ordinance calling for April 2025 election Bill number 7885, ordinance number 9682. Any questions?
First reading.
Second.
All in favor, please say yes.
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 Any opposed, say no. Motion carries.
An ordinance calling for a general election to be held on April 8th, 2025, for the purpose of electing one qualified council member from each of the city's 4 wards to serve 2-year terms, one qualified council member from Ward 4 to serve a 1-year term, and the mayor of the city of North Kansas City, Missouri.
I move that bill number 7885 be placed on second and final reading and passes ordinance number 9682.
Second.
Call the roll, please.
Councilmember McGrone?
Yes.
Councilmember Smith?
Yes.
Councilmember Fitzgerald?
Yes.
Councilmember Alvarez?
Yes.
Councilmember Clark?
Yes.
Councilmember Todd?
Yes.
Councilmember Saper?
Yes.
An ordinance calling for a general election to be held on April 8th, 2025, for the purpose of electing one qualified council member from each of the city's 4 wards to serve 2-year terms, one qualified council member from Ward 4 to serve a 1-year term, and the mayor in the city of North Kansas City, Missouri.
Item 22, please.
So you have a question?
No. Item 22.
Oh. Approving
All right.
accounts due and payable
There we
by
go.
the city through November 1st, 2024. Bill number 7887, ordinance number 9684.
First reading.
All in favor, please say yes. Any opposed, say no. Motion carries.
An ordinance authorizing payment for certain accounts due and payable by the city through November 1st, 2024.
I move that bill number 7887 be placed on second and final reading and passes ordinance number 9684.
Second.
Call the roll, please.
Councilmember McGrone?
Yes.
Councilmember Smith?
Yes.
Councilmember Fitzgerald?
Yes.
Councilmember Alvarez?
Yes.
Councilmember Clark?
Yes.
Councilmember Todd?
Yes.
Councilmember Saper?
Yes.
An ordinance authorizing payment for certain accounts due and payable by the city through November 1st, 2024.
Beautiful. Item 23, staff comments.
The only comments tonight are Anthony and Kim. Anthony?
Good evening, Mayor and Council. Just want to follow up real quick on the trash contract, the new solid waste contract we just talked about and approved. So, yeah, postcards went out Monday. This is kind of the first step in the communication to the residents about the new contract. A follow-up letter is going to be going out either at the end of this week or early next. This has a lot of detail that explains a lot more information about both the item and yard waste, those kind of pickups, again, all on Tuesdays, but just how the process.
We have that assistance program in there as well.
It's not, but we can work again to get that out on like social media and our website to kind of get that more known. And then Jim's Pickup. So Jim's Pickup, the rollout for this is planned for the 18th, starting the week of the 18th of November. So GFL will start dispensing carts out to the residents, and then the following week will be Jim's Disposal's last pickup day, or last pickup week, I'm sorry. So that Tuesday, as Jim's current contract and schedule goes, they'll pick up trash and recycling, and then after that day, they'll start picking up recycling bins. So that day, recycling bins will start to be collected. It'll take them a while through the week to kind of get all of them, so residents are encouraged to just leave their recycling bins out that Tuesday. And then that Friday, which will be the Friday after Thanksgiving, will be Jim's final trash collection day. Again, same as the recycling, residents are encouraged to leave their trash bins out. Jim's will come around and collect them. But again, it might be a few days. There's 1,200 cans that need to be collected, so it'll take a while for that process to go. And that's kind of the rollout idea. And then GFL's first trash collection day will be December 3rd, which is the Tuesday of the following week.
So if we already printed the letter then, is that?
The letter's already printed, yeah, ready to go out. You want to?
I mean, it'd be nice to have that on there, because I don't know what the reach actually is on social media and the internet for folks that are going to be needing assistance. But
yeah, I can see if I can get that changed.
Not an overlapping Venn diagram per se.
It might already be in the mail, to be honest.
I'm making an assumption. But
it might already be in the mail, actually, but we can follow up with
we'll
maybe
sort
another
this.
letter.
Yeah, we'll
sort it.
Yeah, we can find other
Or
ways.
do we really don't have a list like that now
of
people? Because we
all the addresses, yeah. All the addresses and
with like people's small bins or something. I'm trying to figure out another way to deduct and target some of this audience.
Oh yeah, we don't have that list that has
Yeah.
small bins now. Jim's has that letter.
Okay.
That list.
Okay. Okay. So yeah. Okay. Very good. Thank you. Further Good to go. All right.
Good evening. I just wanted to kind of give some what I find to be exciting news. River Forest Park, we have been invited to apply for additional ARPA grant funding. We actually submitted that request today. The application process was actually very easy, which is exciting for a grant application. And the awards will be anywhere from 50 to 200,000 in additional funding. We requested 200,000. I will let you know as soon as I hear anything back.
Perfect. There we go. No, it's an easy one. No questions on that one. That leaves us. Where are we at? Councilmember Brown.
Just a quick congratulations to Jim Chappell on his success here in North Kansas City. And also, just thanks to everybody who got out and voted yesterday.
Fantastic. Thank you, Councilmember Smith.
Not a lot to say tonight. Just please be nice to each other. People are feeling certain kind of ways today. Some are happy, some are not. And there's really no reason to gloat. And there's just seek to understand what's going on with you and your neighbor, and just be nice to each other. That's it.
Thank you, Councilmember Fitzgerald.
Congrats to Jim Chappell, and just for any residents out there frustrated with the change in trash, just please know that was not, city council. We're not saving any money. It costs more. I don't think it was a decision anyone on the city council wanted to make, but was something we had to do, the continued trash service.
Thank you, Councilmember Alvarez.
Yeah, I don't, excuse me, really have anything else to add other than congratulations to Jim Chappell. I know his place has been here for, over 50 years, I think, so congratulations, and that's it.
Thank you, Councilmember Clark.
Congrats, Jim Chappell. Thank you to Sarah Shekels for spearheading the Mayor's Monarch Pledge. And I'm pretty stoked about River Forest Park going to the bid process and looking forward to the selection of that bid this month. And I'm really hopeful for those additional ARPA funds, and I thank you, Kim, for taking that on and knocking that out. And also, I'm very grateful that the state of Missouri decided to reinstate women's rights for health care. Thanks.
Thank you, Councilmember Todd.
Congrats, Jim Chappell. Very exciting. The man, the myth, the legend. We all love Chappells. We love you. Congratulations. And yeah, be safe, have fun, make good choices.
There we go. Councilmember, all strong advice. Councilmember Safer.
The Equity Inclusion Committee is plugging away on various parts of the city ordinances, but there's a problem. The problem being that as hard as they're working, they're 3 members short, which makes it difficult if someone is sick or has family problems or whatever to actually get a quorum sometimes. But they're continuing to work anyway. So I would hope that anyone out there in wards 2, please contact, 3 and 4 to contact the city. We need you, we want you, and if you have an interest and a commitment, you don't have to have a lot of experience, but if you're committed to equity and inclusion, please contact us. Thank you.
Thank you, Councilmember Smith.
What's the process, since we have, is it 2 openings in Ward 4 or 1 opening in Ward 4 just one?
One opening, and I can't appoint them because I appointed the one that's.
Yeah, so what do we do to
I
fill
tried.
that seat?
We have 2 that are available from Ward
That's interesting.
3,
Yeah,
too.
but we're also missing one in Ward 4, right?
but we're
So-
missing a council.
Correct, but
Yeah.
is there another way we can get that seat filled?
You'd have to change the ordinance, I think, at this point.
Is there, I mean, if there's a way, it'd be good to go ahead and
I'm
get
pretty
it
sure we
filled.
passed the, I don't know why we're staring at Tom, but yeah.
I mean, if
the membership
there's a
is by
way to get
ordinance.
it done, I don't know if there's a caveat or some carve out of any kind.
I don't think there was the way it was originally written. I think
It would
by
have to
ordinance,
be a
you'd have to,
change.
Yeah, just throw it on the next agenda. Like, let's get it filled up so they can have a quorum.
Proposed change? I mean, amending ordinance on the next agenda, or
But
just,
what are we
or
amending
just
it to? That's
draft?
the
Yeah,
problem.
yeah,
We
what's-
can't
That's what we
really-
would need to know.
So you'd have to have a discussion on it probably
It's one
first.
we can bring back the
Yeah.
current ordinance.
I mean, if
for
you just want to have it on the
discussion
next
during
agenda, then
one.
we can discuss how membership is appointed
Yeah.
on that board.
Let's do that.
All right.
So I've thought about, change on that one anyways. Oh, yeah, those are my comments. That'll be my comment then, I guess. I don't know. No, congratulations to Jim again, and yeah, there we go. All good comments tonight. So we'll go to executive sessions. We are going to skip number 26. I'll give you some good news here. Now, for the bad news. 27, consideration of request to hold in recess into an executive session as requested by the city councilor to be held on the state on a real estate matter pursuant to Missouri Revised Statutes 610-0212. Is there a motion?
So moved.
Second.
There we go. Call the roll, please.
Councilmember Monroe.
Yes.
Councilmember Smith. Yes. Councilmember Fitzgerald.
Yes.
Councilmember Alvarez.
Yes.
Councilmember Clark.
Sure.
Councilmember Todd.
Yep.
Councilmember Saper.
Yes.
Number 28, consideration or request to hold in recess in an executive session as requested by the city administrator to be held on the state on a contractual matter pursuant to Missouri Revised Statute 610-0212. You call an executive session to be on a different date?
So moved.
It's going to be on the,
So moved.
be held 2 weeks from now.
He's not paying attention.
Call the roll, please.
Councilmember Monroe.
Sorry, it's disturbing.
Councilmember Smith.
Yes.
Councilmember Fitzgerald.
Yes.
Councilmember Alvarez.
Yes.
Councilmember Clark.
Yes.
Councilmember Todd.
Yes.
Councilmember Saper.
Yes.
Oh, number 29. You're moving fast. Consideration and request to hold in recess in an executive session is requested by the mayor to be held on this date on a contractual matter pursuant to Missouri Revised Statute 610-0212.
So moved.
Call the roll, please.
Who made the, okay.
Boom, 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 boom.
Councilmember Monroe.
Yes.
Councilmember Smith. Councilmember Fitzgerald.
Yes.
Councilmember Alvarez.
Yes.
Councilmember Clark.
Yes.
Councilmember Todd.
Yes.
Councilmember Saper.
Yes.
Number 30, consideration request to hold in recess an executive session as requested by the mayor to be held on the state on a real estate matter pursuant to Missouri Revised Statute 610-0212.
So moved.
Second.
Call the roll, please.
Councilmember Monroe.
Yes.
Councilmember Smith. This is still going. Councilmember Fitzgerald.
Yes.
Councilmember Alvarez.
Yes.
Councilmember Clark.
Yes.
Councilmember Todd.
Yes.
Councilmember Saper.
Yes.
Number 31, consideration request to hold in recess in an executive session as requested by the mayor to be held on the state on a contractual matter pursuant to Missouri Revised Statute 610-0212.
So moved.
Call the roll, please.
Councilmember Monroe.
Yes.
Councilmember Smith. Gone still. Councilmember Fitzgerald.
Yes.
Councilmember Alvarez.
Yes.
Councilmember Clark.
Yes.
Councilmember Todd.
Yes.
Councilmember Saper.
Yes.
With that, we are going to executive session. The live stream and Channel 2 will cut off. There'll be no further public business or votes taken this evening. Thank you.